know, man. I miss you horribly.
So we are recording. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are here for another very fantastic episode of Geek Parenting Podcast.
Woo!
Yeah.
I missed the wah, 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 which
Yeah.
Lily is now doing. Ugh. But I am Dr. Sarah. You can find me, of course, here on the Fantastic Geek Parenting Podcast. You can also find me on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/geekparenting. I'm also running the Instagram Geek Parenting and Twitter at Geek Parent Pod and all the other fun stuff. And I got a gimbal
Nice.
and it's so cool. I was playing with it at work today. It was like, ooh, shiny. So stay tuned for some fun stuff coming up. Lily and I are getting ready for our cruise and our
It's
Disney
must
trip.
shiny.
Yes, I'm gonna be dumb and try to go to Galaxy's Edge and Disney World
Woo!
the week after it opens.
Oh, we are going to talk about Galaxy's Edge.
I know you are. I know. And to my internet left, we have Mr. Johnny Tuero. Where can we find you, good sir?
In the bushes.
Yeah, I missed you. You weren't in the bushes for a few days.
Yeah, I was at the Disneyland bushes.
I know. How are
So-
the Disneyland bushes? Are they well trimmed?
They are full of feral cats ready to eat rodents that aren't Mickey Mouse.
There you go.
Don't forget Minnie Mouse.
Yeah.
No,
me too.
I'm doing good. Like I was telling Sarah and Max before I joined, and we'll get to Max in just a moment here. That I watched Endgame for the whatever number time today, and I've been boozing it up. And I was talking to my eldest daughter, and I have full on been like sobbing and bearing my soul like a goddamn Barbara Walters interview.
Oh,
And it's actually been like both very exhausting but great at the same time.
it's cathartic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
But anyway, you can find me on Facebook, Johnny Tuero, Tuero, or you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter, White Enchilada 1. That's the number 1. And you can find me in the bushes outside of your house, unless I'm doing my job, and you won't be able to see me.
yeah.
So
Just leave a couple pizzas out there for him. He's fine.
to my podcast, down and slightly to the right, you will find my hetero life partner, my Disneyland pal, my hitchhiking ghost,
Aw.
Max.
Thanks.
Hi, Max. Welcome again. We had you last week just for a
Yeah.
few minutes.
I totally ambushed him. It was
You
great.
did.
I was eating a slice of pizza at the time.
Some kick-ass pizza.
There's some really good pizza.
And he's
yeah.
like, here, talk to the Toby's on the phone,
I'm like,
right? Is that what he did?
"Who's
You're like,
What's
oh,
What's this?
you're just on an episode of Geek Parenting Podcast. You know, nothing much.
this?"
Nothing
Yeah,
much.
nothing much.
Thanks for putting me on the spot, jerk.
But Max, are you on the internets? Where can we find you?
I
if you want to
am.
put that out.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram under Maxmole. That's MAXMOLE. Same handle on Twitter. I've been trying to get back on Twitter
Mhm.
just because of white enchilada over here.
Yeah.
You can find me on Facebook as well under Maxwell Molina. And you
can
can also find me on the previously defunct Mr. and Mrs. Pod.
Oh, yeah.
can
I
also-
pretty much friended you like right away. I was like, they're going
Yeah.
to Disneyland.
Yeah, you can actually see us on the episode of Fresh Baked Disney's Haunted Mansion 50th anniversary ride at
Yeah.
about minute marker 2:30. But who's counting?
We
Yeah.
will put that link up with the things.
Yeah.
'cause
Now
it's
we
pretty
are
awesome.
not affiliated with Fresh Baked Disney. They didn't give us any sort of specific permission. That is their video.
Yep.
But it
They were
is
at the event.
amazing footage, and we hope they don't mind us tagging them and posting their video because
Saying, hey, this is some awesome stuff.
you can see a tall, devilishly handsome man in a bowler hat. And who doesn't love that?
Yeah.
Right? Right. So where you can find Geek Parenting Podcast, you can of course find us all across the internet. Like I said, on the Twitches, on the Twitters, on the Instagrams, all that stuff. I run all of that for us. You can also find me personally on Instagram at Another Mom Mess. You can always contact us by emailing us at contact@geekparentingpodcast.com, messaging us on us. It's been a long day. Messaging us on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. And if you really want to help us out, you can always join us and give us a little monthly donation on Anchor, anywhere from $1 to $10. So
Or you can buy the Johnny of In the Bushes t-shirt.
there you go. There are t-shirts. That's right. I've been
Oh
making
my
t-shirts. So we
I
have
did
our
not know
Johnny
that.
in the Bushes t-shirt that says up and Orale. We've got our regular Geek Parenting podcast t-shirt logo. And then I've made a couple other ones. I actually bought my Not Today Raven Queen shirt, and it's awesome, and it looks amazing. So if you're into Dungeons and Dragons and Critical Role, you'll understand the reference to the Raven Queen. But let's go ahead and get started with this wonderful episode, which I am actually going to turn it over to you guys and just listen to you talk wax poetic about your trip to Disneyland. Oh, Jocelyn's coming in. 1 second. Let's let Jocelyn.
Yay!
Hello, Jocelyn. Did you make? Okay, well, she's kind of coming.
Where's our night nurse? We need our night nurse.
Night nurse is slowly. Why is Minecraft still open on my computer? Damn it, Lillian.
Goddamn kids and their goddamn BS.
Stupid Minecraft. Hey, Jocelyn.
Hi, guys.
Hey, we just finished introductions. You want to introduce yourself real fast?
I'm Jocelyn. It's very exciting. No, you can find me on Twitter at Jochris, Jocechris. I'm also on another podcast called The World's Greatest Comic Book Podcast. It drops on Tuesdays in all your usual podcast locations.
Yeet.
Yay for JC and Jeff.
Yay.
And Bob.
They're so funny.
Bob. I really do love Bob.
Mr. Bob Defendi.
I have read 2 of his 3 books.
Yes, I adore him. He's fun talk. Who's pouring the drinks and not pouring me one?
I'll pour you one.
Licking
Come join me.
I am all out of alcohol. The only thing left is cinnamon whiskey down in the fridge outside, and I'm not going to get cinnamon whiskey.
That is liqueur. That is not whiskey.
It's cinnamon flavored moonshine, I guess.
What brand is it?
I don't know. It's some hick brand from North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Hey, if it gets you there, it's all good.
Right? But it's cinnamon and it's gross. And I have to mix it with lots of Coke because it's so cinnamon.
I would say Porter's Fire is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I'm not a fan of cinnamon vodka or whiskey.
Yeah. If you like cinnamon whiskey, my wife mixes it with Angry Orchard. Which goes
I bet that's good.
That sounds like a spiced apple cider, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really tasty.
Okay, so Jocelyn and Sarah, this is going to be Max and I plan to recap.
This is your episode. I want to hear all about it.
Yeah, we're going to recap our trip to Disneyland, but the idea is you two, as people that weren't there, should ask questions, and because we're going to forget stuff or gloss over stuff that may be of interest. Okay. So
Fair.
So it was the 50th anniversary of the Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
On August 9th. And with the opening of Galaxy's Edge, we were a little worried they were going to kind of skip over this monumentous occasion. Monumentous to those of us who love the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. Oh,
well, yeah.
So a few short months ago, they finally announced, hey, we're doing a 50th anniversary event. Now, my wonderful non-hetero life partner, Aubrey, had booked us a room just in case Disneyland did something. So Max and I had this room to stay in for what eventually became this celebration. And Aubrey couldn't actually go because family stuff. She was in Kansas City. So we had a room, and then it was a lottery to get tickets, which they didn't sell out. So I'm a little surprised by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
They did 2 nights, not nights, mornings. The morning of August 8th and the morning of August 9th. From 1 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Jeez.
And they sold 999 tickets to each event.
If you like the Haunted Mansion, you'll understand that reference.
And we basically paid $100 per hour to go to this event.
Pretty much.
No.
Yeah.
No. My friend Katie and I at work were imagining being at Disneyland with just 997 other people. How insane was that?
Not even that. Like when we got there to check in, it said tickets still available. I don't know how many tickets.
Jesus.
But it wasn't even 999 people, and it was great because there were how many attractions open, Max? 6?
There's about 6. So they cordoned off a special area. It was pretty much Adventureland, Frontierland, and New Orleans Square.
And only 6 attractions were open.
Okay.
Yeah. So Indiana Jones Adventure was open. Big Thunder Mountain, Jungle Cruise, Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean,
The Mark Twain.
Yeah, the Mark Twain and
the Mark Twain wasn't the normal Mark Twain. They actually had actors / singers on board doing a performance, like a spooky performance for this thing, and it was we didn't write it, but I saw the video today, and it looked really damn cool.
I saw some of the video footage of the singers, and they were amazing. A cappella singers were doing just amazing, spooky stuff you would expect to see at Halloween.
Well, they did an a cappella version of the Beetlejuice theme, and I was nerding the hell out.
I bet you were.
Really good.
They even did Jaws. They did the Jaws theme.
They did the Jaws. Yeah, it was very silly. It was like really awesomely silly.
It was super self-aware and like, it's Disney, so it was like top notch.
Yeah. Oh man.
So with the event, it came with a certain when you picked up your tickets early in the day, because you were able to pick them up from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. It gave you opportunities for a meet and greet, or not a meet and greet, but photo opportunities, which gave you free photo pass. Which, if you don't know what that is, that's pretty much their photographers take professional photos of you. They had backdrops. If you probably will see those posted on later.
Yeah, backdrops by some of their professional artists, which were amazing.
Yeah, they looked really cool.
They did.
Yeah, and then it came with a special limited gift along with it,
which we didn't know about until we got there.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
The little Madame Leota half orb.
It was a paperweight.
Cool.
That's what it was. Yeah, it's like it looks like Madame Leota.
Between Sarah and I will try to post some of these pictures.
Yeah, for sure.
But so we get signed in, and it was the ballroom, right, of Disneyland Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
They had the 4 stretching portraits in the waiting area.
Oh, nice.
And between the waiting area and the area where you actually signed in, they had windows, and they had the lightning effects. It was really darkened. At one end of the room, they had the silhouette of the bride crossing the room.
Oh, God.
And like, I don't know. I was so busy geeking out. I didn't know if Max was also geeking out, but I assume he was.
Yes, I was.
We were like losing our shit. So we get into the room where we register. Now, we had the opportunity to pre-order special event merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
And like on July 24th, that charge hit our accounts. And before we even got to the park, I had spent like $200.
Yeah, something about that.
And that was after I cut it back, after seeing that I had spent close to $400.
Oh my God. Take my money.
Yeah. So, we go through, we do that, we pick up our stuff, we do the photo ops, we go downstairs, we pick up all of our exclusive merchandise, and we lose our minds because we all love the Haunted Mansion, and that's what we're there for, and everything is Haunted Mansion.
That's amazing.
Yeah. They had like projections everywhere, like you said, 50th anniversary Haunted Mansion, whatever that graphic they made for it. Mm-hmm. They had the gargoyle sconces that are in the stretching room. Mm-hmm. They're like everywhere. Jeez. in the presentation area. It was just really cool.
No,
I swear to God, I want like 4 of those in my living room.
Yeah,
just light my goddamn TV room.
They had some pretty expensive stuff too there. I was looking at some really exclusive, like high-end art.
Yeah, if you get the actual painting, it's thousands. I got one print of, I think it was called The Haunted Mansion of Cute, and I can't off the top of my head remember the artist, but just the print was like $55.
Take my money.
Well, and I didn't get that for me. I got that for my beloved significant other. And no regrets, honestly.
Nice.
Max, like, he risked life and limb to get more than he pre-ordered. I know his wife. I love his wife, and she probably beat him a little after he got back.
Oh no.
Yeah, I spent a
What
little.
were
I
you
spent a little bit too
thinking?
much, more than I wanted to. But I was like, you know what, YOLO. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
You
Love
know?
you,
Exactly.
Lacey.
Haunted Mansion only turns 50 once, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, I would have done the same thing.
And this is all before we even went to the park to see the actual event.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
amazing.
The event ticket came with the access to the rides in that certain area of the park that was
Right.
open. It came with 4, I would say appetizers, or I don't know, like
There was-
four food
There was an
items.
appetizer, an entree, a drink, and a dessert.
hmm
And
And
they
so-
were all specialty for the event.
Nice.
So let's see. We got between the two of us, there was the bride and the groom churro,
Nice.
which they were okay. They weren't like magnificent. They were
But they were
okay. Like
different.
the groom churro was kind of a chocolate powder. The bride, I assume, was a white chocolate powder.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a white chocolate, like powdered sugar. Anyway.
Max got the chowder.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was kind of oniony. I got the help me out here. The Monte Cristo.
Oh, you got
Oh.
the Monte Cristo, yeah.
The classic Monte Cristo.
And it was actually a different one. Like everything they had was specific to this event, so it was slightly different. And the Monte Cristo was fantastic.
Mhm.
We
You
got,
never go wrong with the Monte Cristo, honestly, at Disneyland.
we both got so where Aladdin's meet and greet used to be, they have like a new dessert thing where they have different flavored Dole Whips. I got the raspberry one, and they had a bunch of stuff on it. It was okay.
Yeah.
You know, nothing to write home about. It was all right.
Yeah.
And then we both got the punch, which was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like a fruit, like a grapey fruit punch. It was really
Yeah,
good.
it was kind of creamy, almost like I don't know, like Tampico for rich people.
And I'm assuming none of this was alcoholic, correct?
No, it was not.
Correct.
Darn it.
Yeah.
So,
Disneyland and its limitations on alcohol. on
Yep.
premises.
But you know, so we get into the park. They started letting us in. I can't remember the time, but at Rivers of America, they have the opening ceremonies, which were fantastic. Like singing, dancing, projections,
Mhm.
fireworks. You can find a video of these online, and they look way better than I'm describing. I promise you.
Yeah,
They
you
looked-
you can find a lot of the videos, and we'll make sure that we link out to Johnny's photos as well. So
Yeah. And beyond that, they had a bunch of event merchandise, not just what we bought. You know, because they had ears, they had pins, shirts. I mean, oh my God, you name it. Fanny packs. I shit you not, fanny packs.
I bought one.
I want a fanny pack.
So, in the parks, they had these 3 items that I didn't get. And I'm kind of glad I didn't. So one was a popcorn holder, one was a drink holder, one was a beignet holder. All 3 of them combined were the Hatbox Ghosts.
Shut up.
It wasn't
And
the Hatbox Ghost, it's the Hitchhiking Ghost.
oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's
Yes,
it.
thank you. The Hitchhiking Ghosts. Thank you for correcting me.
Get your shit together, Johnny. Come on.
I know my shit's all over the place. And it looked great. Max got a good picture because we met some people that got all 3 and spent that ungodly amount of money.
Yo.
And I both do not regret and semi-regret not getting them
Mm-hmm.
because they look cool, but oh my God, $60 for 3 pieces of plastic.
That's pretty crazy.
I wouldn't know what the hell to do with.
It wasn't just that though. I mean, everybody was waiting in line for upwards to an hour and a half for just these items.
For,
Each
for
individual
just
item.
these things, yeah.
Yeah.
And not just that night, but we'll get to that. So we rode the Pirates of the Caribbean. That was our first ride because we rightfully assumed everyone was going to rush to the mansion,
Mhm.
which they did, more or less. So for the first half of the ride where it's all skeletons and kind of creepy, you know pirates. And if
Yep.
you don't, you can Google a ride through.
Yes.
So for the first half where it's all skeletons, there was no soundtrack, which made it kind of creepier, right, Max?
Yeah.
Yes, it did. It was very eerie and off-putting, to say the
So
least.
what we assumed is people had got on the ride and had ridden from start to finish with no sound and told the people, hey, the soundtrack is off. So when we hit the midway point where it went from skeletons to, you know, Barbosa battling the guys with the bad Spanish accents, like that's the point where the sound came on. And it was funny because Max had just said, what did you say?
It was a Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Yeah.
It was in the dark tunnel part.
We are like about there, and he's like, "Dead men tell no tales," and boom, the soundtrack comes on, and we started laughing. It was great. It was pretty awesome.
It was perfect timing, honestly.
Yeah. Were you guys the only ones in your boat, or were there others with you?
Oh no, it was a full boat.
Yeah,
Full boat. Nice.
we were actually bottoming out because we were way the back end.
But
no.
You know, I'm going to ask Dr. Sarah to do this because I am way too like emotionally drained and physically inebriated to do it. But she is going to share the video that I shared to our group earlier from Fresh Break Disney. They did a ride through video of the Haunted Mansion for this event.
Oh man, and they upped their game this time. Disney
so the
did.
Haunted Mansion made a couple of small differences that I super appreciate because they only did them for the event.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, it's dark outside because the event was 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. So they fog machined the hell out of the mansion.
Oh man.
And green and purple lit the front of it. The ambiance cannot be beat.
Yeah.
Like, I wish it was like that all the time. The entire open section of the park had the creepy soundtrack the entire time we were there, and it was glorious. So
it was a different soundtrack too, because it was like what was it? It was just some type of organ, it sounded like Phantom of the Opera organing.
Yeah.
You know, like, and so it was something I've never heard
organs
before with that.
and the creepy screams and the moans and the. So we wait through the very short line to get on the Haunted Mansion with the video we link, the Fresh Baked Disney, because you can see Max and I in this video, as I mentioned before.
Definitely can see the back of my head.
So like you can see us before we get into the stretching room, which was the same. I think it was I think they turned the volume up a little, but. So you go through the stretching room, you go through the portrait hallway, and that's all the same. You get to where you board the Doom buggies, and they had this really great, 50th anniversary
projection.
Thank you, projection, where you board the Doom buggies, because normally that's just black background. So we get on and we're like, oh, that's cool,
Yeah.
And as we were in the line, I'm pretty sure we talked about how in the 1980s, maybe the early 1990s, you get to the endless hallway, which still is at the very beginning of the ride. They at one point replaced the suit of armor with an actor who got punched because, well, you scare people, you get punched.
Yeah.
Max and I, working in haunted houses for a few years, know this. So we come around that corner and we see the animatronic suit of armor, and we're like, okay, that's normal. But then almost immediately we noticed, holy, hey, not safe for work this episode. Holy shit. There is another suit of armor up the couple of stairs in the endless hallway. And it's a person in a suit, and we were losing our shit, geeking out.
Bet.
We're like, oh my God, it's a dude in a suit. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I wonder if it's going to be like this just for tonight, or if it's going to be like this for the anniversary. Spoiler alert, just a special event.
Yep.
So, like, that to me made it feel like a special event.
That's awesome.
So we see the guy in the suit, and we go around, you see the coffin, the guy, let me out, let me out, let me out. And most of it was normal. So
Mhm.
we're going through. We go through the door hallway where you hear the knocking. You see the door moving. The clock with the claw coming down, which is always cool. We get to Madame Leota, and behind Madame Leota, there's normally nothing.
It's like black.
Well, during like the Christmas time, if you ever go during Christmas time, it's usually like a tarot card Christmas tree or a book or something like that floating back there. And so what they had this time was a backdrop, which it had the graphic for the 50th anniversary for the Haunted Mansion on there.
Yeah, and kind of a purple or green. I can't if you watch or have watched the video, you'll know. My memory's a little fuzzy right now because you don't need to know my life. I'm a little mixed up right now. So anyway, they have the 50th logo behind Madame Leota, and we're like, oh, that's so cool. And we go through there, and Madame Leota is the point where it turns from spooky to kind of fun. And so I was telling a friend at work about this, and she watched this fresh baked video that we are going to or have linked. I don't know.
Are going to. Yep. I'll put the link out with this episode. So
time is a tricky thing. We time heisted the shit out of this episode.
We did.
And I told a friend of mine at work about this, who is a total Disney nerd, like Sarah and Max and I am. So I watched it with her, and I honestly didn't see it in person, but noticed it while I was watching the video and felt like a complete dumbass for not seeing it, because as we're going through the ballroom scene,
there were people in there. At
the table, there was an actor. I did not see that while I was there.
Are you kidding me? I didn't even see that.
Yeah. So watch it, Max. When you're going through at the table where the old lady's blowing out the candles, there is an actor on the far side of the table. I was like, holy shit. I didn't even notice that. How did I not notice that? Like, I was like feeling like a complete dirt-er, but at the same time thinking that is so cool that they put this much attention into the ride.
Yeah.
So, there was that actor, which Max and I apparently both totally missed. We go through, you go through the attic where the bride is. You go past the Hatbox Ghost, which, thank Jeebus is there and looks amazing. You go through the graveyard scene. You see a wreath that says, 50th anniversary. So you get to the part where the ghost host finds you again. And he's like, oh, there you are. I forgot to tell you, beware of hitchhiking ghosts. So you see the animatronics.
Yeah.
Where there's Ezra and there's Phineas and sweet mother of all that's holy, Gus is an actor.
Oh
they dim the light on the animatronic Gus, and there was a dude in there in the Gus outfit acting, and holy hell, it was so damn cool. I know if you're not like a total Disney nerd, that's like, so what? They put a person in there. I can
ghosts,
but like, we were losing our minds.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yep.
I mean, you have to realize, like, myself, I've been going on this ride since I was like 5 years old. And to see something, just something minute changes, like a live at night, people in the dining room, a live actor playing Gus. These are big changes.
Yeah, they're both big and small, depending on your point of view. Like, to us, it's like the biggest deal in the world. They only did it for these 2 nights. They did not do it for the anniversary during the day. They did not do it any other time. So that alone, we were like, oh my God, they really care about, us fans, even though they kind of extorted $300 for us for this event. But these little things to us kind of made it worth it.
Disney doesn't do it light when they do special events. They go all in.
That's very true.
So for other events, so Madame Leota had a couple of shows where she would show up on a balcony above where the Haunted Mansion shop, and there's a
On
little restaurant there.
21 Royal Street. That's
Yeah.
where.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
She would show up and do a little show. I got a couple of pictures of that. And I would like at least a short video on how they design that actor character.
Mhm.
How you came to that design from
What's in
the
the mansion?
floating head in a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter one way or the other. It's interesting to me.
Yeah. She looked cool. I want to cosplay as her.
So there was that. There were 3 character photo ops. One was Madame Leota.
Mm-hmm.
One was Sally
Slaughter. I think. that's her name.
Slaughter.
Slater.
She's the one on the tightrope over the alligator in the stretching portrait hallway, stretching room.
Mm-hmm.
And there was the Hatbox Ghosts.
Nice.
So Max and I waited, like 40 minutes
Yeah.
to do photos of the Hatbox Ghost, because out of the 3, they were the most rare find.
Yeah.
And honestly, we didn't get to do everything that night, but no regrets, because those guys were on point. They were so cool.
Yeah, my big thing is so photos came with the event. So if you took a picture with them, they had a photo op, where they took pictures with you with them. But I'm really big on doing selfies with characters. So they actually allowed to do that, which I thought was really awesome.
So he had his selfie on his phone, but at the same time, the photographer took a picture from the other angle. So he's got it from 2 different angles of the same shot, and it's really, really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, it came out really awesome.
But, like I said, the event was expensive.
Would you do it again?
Oh, yeah. In the span of 36 hours or so, I got about 5 hours of sleep, and I regret nothing.
Yeah. Same here. It was like,
and that was more because of where I stayed. It's this timeshare is not the best word, but it's, the thing that people would most understand.
Yeah.
So, they give a presentation when you stay, and they were like, "Oh, if you sit through our presentation, we'll give you $100 Disney gift card." And I was like, "Mother scratching sons of motherless goats! I want $100 of Disney currency." So, I'm going to get back at 4 a.m. and be to your stupid thing at 9.
Yep.
For $100.
Worth it. Hey, I do the DVC things on the cruise because free booze.
Hell yeah!
That's the way to
cruise
go right
booze
there.
is expensive, guys.
Cruise
Gotta
booze
get that
is
free.
no joke.
You gotta get the free booze when you can.
I really want to go on one of those Disney cruises. I've never been.
So before we move on, do you or Jocelyn have any questions about that particular event?
I don't. Jocelyn, I had to mute you because I heard crackling coming from your mic. So if you want to ask a question, you got to unmute yourself. I'm sorry. I love you.
Oh, no, you're fine. I didn't realize that was my mic. Sorry. No, I don't have any questions. That sounds amazing, though.
Yeah.
It was. It really was.
What would you say was the best single thing from the night?
The limited amount of people and the not exclusive, but the hard to, like, the rare rather photo ops.
Nice.
Yeah. I think mine was the live actors inside the Haunted Mansion and the photo ops, honestly.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
And so I already said there was the food at the event that was like exclusive food, and it was great. The chowder Max had was a little oniony, which is not his jam. It's not my jam. But
I like onion jam though, just to be honest.
Yeah, onion jam is
delicious.
So where did we eat? I forget, but they had like a menu for the because it was the 50th anniversary. They had these pork belly sliders, and if you know me, pork is totally my shit.
Yeah.
So I got these pork belly sliders, which did not disappoint. And Max talked me into getting the dessert, which was blue velvet cake. Now, red velvet is just chocolate with a crap ton of red food coloring.
Right.
This was more of a berry cake with a crap ton of blue food coloring,
Wow.
and it was amazing.
It was pretty phenomenal, honestly.
Nice.
So, and it came with 3 of them, and they were basically the size of cupcakes.
Big
man.
cupcakes, mind you.
Like
big
Disney
cupcakes.
cupcakes.
So
Yeah, exactly.
Max had one. I had another, and we're like, oh my God, we can't finish the third one. Like, this is too much food. But at the same time, you're like, I don't want to see this masterpiece
Go to
go to
waste.
waste.
Yeah.
So we made friends with the people at the table next to us, and we were like, do you guys want this? Because we feel like we should be, charged with a felony for wasting this. So these super nice people were like, yes, we'll take it. And, we chatted them up, and they were super cool locals. And I kind of hope that after their meal, they ordered another order of this. I don't know. If it were me, I sure as hell would have, because that stuff was that good.
Yeah, I would go back just for that, honestly.
Like, yeah, we were out there making friends, chatting up strangers, the way Disneyland should be.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So now I need to hear about some other stuff.
So from there, we're going to talk about Black Spire / Galaxy's Edge, right, Max?
Oh yes.
Batu, tell me all about it.
Batu.
I need to know all the things.
You want to start this one?
Yeah. So hands down, just to tell you straight up, I mean, Black Spire Outpost / Batu is beautiful. It is
immersive.
Yeah, it's highly immersive. If you decide to go, I would recommend to download the Disney Play app and plan on spending hours there just playing with that, honestly.
Because you can interact with everything around you, right?
Yeah, you turn on your
A-Wing with the X-Wing.
Yeah, you can turn on the X-Wing, you turn on the A-Wing, you could hack data pad, like the data points in the land. It's just really fun. It's like playing Pokemon Go at Disneyland, honestly. I mean, that's how fun it is. You get credits for it.
Except it reacts in the real world.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
We went on Smuggler's Run. Smuggler's Run was great. The wait was only about 50 minutes when we went on, but averagely it was about 70 minutes, which still isn't that bad.
Not bad.
The potential issue with Smuggler's Run is if people don't understand that it's not just a ride.
You have to actually do something.
Yeah. You have to follow instructions. You have to, the pilots have to steer the ship. The gunners have to shoot. The engineers have to steal stuff.
Yeah.
You're not going to do as well as you could. And our pilots were not following directions.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And you know what? That's going to happen. You can get mad about it. You can laugh about it. We laughed about it. The people that were the engineer, so Max and I were the gunners. The engineers were behind us, and they kind of had it sounded like they had a couple of crappy experiences, and they were griping.
Yeah.
And
our pilots were clueless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, it happens.
Yeah, it does.
We still had a great time.
Good.
Whether or not you know stuff from Clone Wars, whether or not you know stuff from Rebels, it's still a fun ride because that strongly ties into those two animated series because you have Hondo Ohnaka, whose animatronic looks phenomenal.
It's the most legit real animatronic I've seen in a long time.
The first time I saw a video of it, I thought it was an actor.
I know.
I thought it was the guy there.
The funny thing is, once you get into the ride and it is an actor in makeup, you're like, well, that looks worse than the animatronic.
Oh dear.
So was the video an actor in makeup or was that a CG? Because I couldn't make that out either.
Either way, it did not look as good as the animatronic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny.
But the ride was really cool. The whole thing is you're supposed to be following this train and stealing some sort of fuel.
Yeah, it's the
Coaxium or Galaxium.
Coaxium. Yeah.
Coaxium, thank you. Yeah, Coaxium. The cool thing is, okay, so from what I gather, at least watching all the ride-throughs I've seen before going, because I preloaded myself before going to Galaxy's Edge to to maximize my experience there.
Mm-hmm.
And now I didn't expect to get on everything. Like I didn't expect to go into the cantina. I didn't expect to make a lightsaber. Because like I said, I was very limited on funds to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we didn't make a lightsaber because we didn't have $200 extra.
Yeah.
We didn't go in the cantina because we didn't want to waste literal hours waiting in that line.
Yeah. So we already had that preloaded that we weren't going to do those items. So that
But we
like,
did get blue and green milk.
Yeah.
Yes,
How was that?
yes. Oh
How was-
my god.
How was the bantha milk? How was the thala siren milk?
So the blue milk, which is the bantha milk, was delicious. I
It's-
thought it
it's
had like a
dragon
berry
fruit.
flavor.
It's dragon fruit. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
No.
So the blue one was dragon fruit, and it's not actual milk. It's like a frozen. It's like a slush drink, but well blended. So almost like a margarita texture.
Yeah.
Not no alcohol, but it's that texture. It's a frozen drink. It's kind of light. It's kind of fruity. The I almost said moof milk. The thala siren is tangerine.
Oh, interesting.
It's actually pretty good, and not as thick as you would think, but it's a nice, cool, refreshing, frozen blended drink.
Yeah.
Now in Disney World, the blue one you can get with rum, and the green one you can get with tequila.
Oh, I wish.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, because it's in
I
Hollywood
wish.
Studios, which has alcohol.
Yeah, you can get alcohol.
Lucky bastards.
Bastards.
But I imagine that's still pretty stinking good.
Yeah.
And they have characters wandering around. We saw Kylo Ren. We saw stormtroopers.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Some
full on
Imperial
interact
officers.
with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I do feel that I mean a lot of people online are griping that it's just not interactive enough, and I think if you did your research, you can interact it a fairly amount. I would probably suggest that Disney probably would later on add more characters. Like if either from Clone Wars or just other, people of Black Spire Outpost. You don't even necessarily have to have characters from Star Wars. Just have people to make it feel like a real city.
Yeah.
Then I feel it would be amped up so much.
I feel that they pushed this to get it open, and they're going to expand on it later. Now that may sound more cynical than I intend. It still looks and feels amazing, and in the future, I think it'll be even more amazing.
Well, you feel like you're in Batuu. All the videos I've been watching, the cast previews that I've been seeing from Disney World, it's amazing. And the character interactions that you do interact with, I mean, even the cast members are encouraged to be characters. They're not.
Yeah,
they
have
cast
a
members
script.
there. They live,
Even the cleanup crew has specific greetings they will give you depending on the time of day.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's the morning is bright suns.
Right.
And to the spire means like have a good day.
And something moons for the evening.
Yeah, something bright moons, I think it is, or something like that. It's they have their own like type of lingo, which I think is really cool.
We're gonna have to get my friend Jessie on when Rise of the Resistance opens, because she's actually a training manager for Rise of the Resistance down in Disney World. So
yeah, we just saw the queue for that, but we're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till that opens.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Poe Dameron's X-wing is in that queue.
Yeah,
honestly. So it's like I just can't wait just to see that.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It's
and I have such a crush on Poe Dameron. I'll just admit that right now.
My friend Katie, she calls him Space Boyfriend. That's Space Boyfriend.
Just want to nuzzle against him.
Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
He's dreamy.
I bet he smells good.
I bet he smells really good.
Oscar Isaac, I know you're listening. Call me.
We're waiting.
So what was some of the merchandise you saw there that you would have liked to have picked up had you
they
had others?
They had so much. They had so many shops there, and it ranged anything from like art that you could take home for several $100s, like
thousands of dollars, some of it.
Like they had a mask of General Grievous that was like 300 something, and we actually saw somebody walking out with to your normal T-shirts.
Yeah,
which are not. They don't say Disney World and Disneyland on them. It is Batuu. It is Black Spire Outpost. There is. Like it's like you're visiting the planet.
They had a specific stall that only had Black Spire Outpost items. It didn't say Star Wars. It just said Black Spire Outpost on it, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
That is the only place that I have ever seen an L337 like specific shirt.
Are
And
you serious?
if it hadn't been a women's cut
You would have had
shirt,
it.
I would have bought the hell out of that shirt because I loved L3.
Come on, Johnny. You could just get a super extra large and
I could
and wear
rock that shit.
You absolutely could.
Totally do it.
It's a
Man,
midriff.
the
Like,
crazy
But
thing.
L3, I've never seen
Yeah.
like I just barely found the Black Series L3 figure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God damn, man. And you can get adult-sized, real high-quality costumes.
Oh yeah, robes, Jedi and
Robe,
Sith.
like $200, I think they were, right? The robes.
125.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta not spend a lot of money if I get in.
Yeah, it's really hard because I mean I really wanted to buy a robe, like a Sith
Mhm.
robe.
Oh hell yeah.
Or they even also had Legends lightsabers available, which I don't want to build. I mean, I want to build my own lightsaber, but I'd rather have Mace Windu's real
Windu's-
lightsaber.
Thank you.
honestly.
That's what I said.
And-
I said, oh, they got Mace Windows. Gimme, 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 gimme.
Yeah,
Another
exactly.
thing I thought was really cool is they have dolls there, but they're their own stylized.
Yeah.
They had like Ahsoka, Stormtrooper.
They have little porgs, don't they?
I mean, like all
They-
these stylized dolls that really fit the aesthetic of the land.
Well,
Mhm.
they had the Stormtrooper doll that Rey has. Remember
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Force Awakens, they had like a whole bunch of those. It was like toys that looked like that. That stuff that like beggars, not beggar, I don't know, not beggars is not the right thing, but I'd say scrap children or scrap heap people would have.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
or people in outposts.
people that
That's
live
the
in Jakku.
Toydarian toy makers, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, they
But
had.
I mean, like there was a guy out there. I think it was just he had a Rathtar on a leash, and
Oh,
it had
yeah.
it had some sort of like. This is gonna sound really bad, but I'm using the best word I can think of. It had a vibrator in it,
Oh, God.
and the Rathtar would like bounce around on the leash, and it looked really cool.
Oh, my God.
Nice. That's
They had
awesome.
the
That is cool. I want a loth cat. They have loth cats, right?
They
Oh,
had
yeah.
loth cats. Another one that they had. This guy was wandering around with a puffer pig.
Oh yeah,
And,
No way.
and I asked him, because the cool thing is that when I go to Disneyland, I like to go whole hog on it.
Mhm,
I like to like engage with all the cast
he
members.
likes to go whole
ask 'em-
puffer pig.
mhm.
yeah,
The puffer pigs kind of sound like they oink, right? They make that
exactly.
It
So
does. It really does.
yeah, so I asked him, I go, what is that? He goes, that's a puffer pig, and he squeezes it, and it makes a big oink sound. And I'm like, oh my god, I need one of these. Obviously, I didn't get it, but
I forget what it's called, but they had like the salacious crumb.
The
Yes.
Kowakian spider or the Kowakian lizard monkey.
Yes.
Lizard.
yes,
Jabba's little lizard monkey.
Yeah.
And what it does, it'll sit on your shoulder, and it has controls where you can move his head and you can open his mouth. And oh my lord, it's such a simple, stupid thing. But if I hadn't already spent like $300 on Haunted Mansion merchandise, I would have got one.
yeah.
True.
I thought the puffer pig was really cute. I saw that in videos and they squeezed and I was like, oh, it's
Oh yeah,
pale.
they were
so cute.
so great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely
they have
wanna get one of
they have like X-wing fighter outfits for kids. They have
God.
helmets. Like
Oh,
it just
man.
doesn't end. They have food that's kind of themed and a little
Mhm.
weird looking.
They have the Ronto's roasters, right?
Yes.
yeah,
Which-
which is it's a sausage on a pita bread.
Pita,
pretty much.
yeah.
It's
It's like street food. It's like Star Wars street food.
exactly, and a lot of the stuff like in Docking Bay, I think it was Docking Bay 7. I think that's the name of it.
Mhm.
They have a lot of the like they try to make the stuff look exotic. So I don't know if you know anything about Pandora Land in Disney World. They use a lot of quinoa, kale, like a lot of
Yeah.
stuff that's not common
Yeah.
in food. And they use a lot of that in their dishes. So they like, grilled chicken with quinoa to make it look a little alienish, stuff like that, stuff that's geometrically shaped.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool.
Sadly, no death sticks.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
no, yeah.
Sad.
Death sticks. You don't need any dust sticks.
Go home and rethink your life.
Go home and rethink my life.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so
Now, see, I had one friend say that they got into Oga's and they spent like $600 on drinks. They were
Oh
there for
my-
like 3 hours. Yeah.
yeah. I could see
You
that
know,
happening.
if I
man.
waited an
Yeah.
hour plus to get in there, yeah, I'd be camping like a motherfucker too.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, I could go to Lamplight Lounge and spend $300 by myself there. I mean,
Oh.
honestly, in California Adventure. So
If you go to Lamplight Lounge, if they still have them, get the
Lobster nacho.
pork
Lobster
winglets.
oh,
No,
those
man,
are good
lobster
too.
nachos.
Lobster nachos are good too, but those pork winglets are like, for my money, can't be beat.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you can't go wrong with anything there, honestly.
No,
I mean,
it's
the
delicious.
food there in
That's
general.
true.
Like any of
And
the cocktails-
order a drink off the secret menu because they're all Long Islands, and you're going to get trashed.
Yep. So my favorite thing to do after the Tinkerbell half marathon would be to go to, it was Cove Bar at the time, but we
Yeah.
would go
Right.
and we would get lobster nachos and 2 Long Island iced teas, and we'd spend the rest of the day shit faced and sore, but it's so worth it.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I know all the drinks and all the food are top notch over
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Even the quick service food is good.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
you know, if I don't want to wait for the Lamplight Lounge, I will go over to Corn Dog Castle. I will get a beer,
Mhm.
and I will get a hot link corn dog, and I will be one happy motherfucker.
Mhm. See,
I
I want to
love
go
a
to
hot link corn
Disneyland
dog.
and I want to get drunk with all of you, like
Yes.
Amber and I did.
I'm
And-
down.
oh,
Honestly,
so
I
much
am
fun.
down. You can invite me if anybody's going to Disneyland at all, you can invite me.
So
Yes.
my plan is when I win the lottery, I will be taking us all to Disneyland and Disney World and Disney cruises regularly. All my friends,
Oh.
we're just gonna go when I win the lottery. So
I just hope we
Wait,
see a
are we
dude bro
building a
working out in the
commune?
airport.
yeah, I think we're gonna
Yeah.
build a commune too, right?
Yeah, a
Johnny?
commune too.
Yeah,
So-
you gonna
so-
give them that? Find us a house.
When Sarah and Amber went, they shared pictures of some dude bro working out in the airport,
So funny.
and we were laughing our asses off. It was so
oh
great.
man, we're like this
Do you even
guy,
lift, bro?
this guy's like doing push-ups in front of us and sit-ups and crunches, dude. And Amber, and I, of course, drunk as shit, and we're just
It was so sad.
mocking this guy. We're like, oh my god, can we? And eventually we had to move. We're like, I can't handle this anymore. We got to move.
He was a total dude,
That's
bro.
funny.
He was. Well, any last words, final things about your trip to Disneyland?
I'd suggest to anybody going to any special event if you're any type of Disney fan.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, it's
Oh,
worth
yeah.
your time, worth your money. Even the not so scary Halloween parties are
Is
really
amazing.
Good. Yeah.
Both I've been both to the not so scary Halloween party as well as the Christmas party at Disney World, and they were both worth all the money.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
And if you just happen to be there on Leap Day, you know, the 29th of February,
Mhm.
where they just, last time and again, I just happened to be there during that time, they were open 24 hours, and that's pretty damn
Yeah.
cool. Take advantage.
Oh, I bet.
Absolutely. Well, we've been talking for almost an hour now about the wonders of Disney.
Woo!
Get ready. Coming up soon, Lily and I will be going on our Disney trip and be coming back with lots of content. Hopefully, a little bit of Galaxy's Edge video if we can get in there, and some other fun stuff. But until that time, stupid adult hands.
Up, and orale!
If you can't stand the heat, stay out of Hell's Kitchen.
Come up with a thing, Max. Come on.
Peace out.
Max,
That works. That works. No,
we'll take it.
I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me.
More-